in February during the trial in the Senate. A Republican Congresswoman said this. I want to put it up on the screen. She said that while the January 6th riot was in full force, you phoned President Trump and asked him to call off his supporters. And according to you, she said, the president responded, well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are. Is she right? Is that what President Trump said to you?
When I talked to President Trump about, I was the first person to contact him when the riots was going on. He didn't see it. What he ended the call was telling me he'll put something out to make sure to stop this. And that's what he did. He put a video out later.
Quite a lot later. And it was a pretty weak video. But I'm asking you specifically, did he say to you, I guess some people are more concerned about the election than you are?
No, listen, my conversations with the president are my conversations with the president. I engaged in the idea of making sure we could stop what was going on inside the Capitol at that moment in time, and the president said he would help.
I want to ask you a specific question about this, because there have been and are continuing to be investigations of what happened on January 6th. We'll talk about the commission in a minute. Has the president ever reached out to you since that report came out to discuss what you and he talked about in the January 6th phone call? And did you say to him, I can't because we're under oath?
No.
That never happened?
It's never happened.
And you would
never even close.
And if it did happen, you would agree that would be witness tampering?
Yeah, but never happened. Never even came close. Never had any conversation like that.
Okay.
Never even heard that rumor before till today.
That was Chris Wallace speaking with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy as they discussed what happened on January 6th, Donald Trump's role in it, and the possibility of an investigation, a 9/11 style commission. There's a second portion of the clip where they go into detail over Nancy Pelosi's plan to convene a committee to investigate the terrorist attack of January 6th. What I find interesting about this, notwithstanding the fact that Republicans are absolutely trying to rewrite history, their number one goal is to make sure that no one is held accountable for January 6th, no one of significance. Donald Trump, any Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all the people who were there actively participating in it. They want to make sure that all the top Republicans are never held accountable for it. And then secondly, they want to rewrite history. They want to, as you can see in that clip, they're pointing towards all the other violence that has taken place at the Capitol, but nothing compares to what Republicans and white supremacists and Donald Trump supporters, basically all the same, did on January 6th. Nothing compares to that. I mean, it was an all-out assault on American democracy. Now, that said, what I find fascinating about this is that Republicans find themselves in a very difficult spot. They have to simultaneously be careful not to offend Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, even if he doesn't run for president again in 2024, he is a kingmaker. And he can make or break your political career. He is the Republican kingmaker. And with that amount of power, people like Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell know they cannot possibly oppose Donald Trump or attempt to hold him accountable. But what they're doing here, if you can see in that clip at the very end, Chris Wallace is like, are you sure he didn't say that to you? What we're seeing is that Republicans are going above and beyond to protect Donald Trump, even if it puts them in danger themselves, their political careers in danger. So it's like a catch-22. They have put someone in their party, Donald Trump, that they can't get rid of, but by keeping him and protecting him, they're destroying their own selves, their own party. The other thing about this is that we have to make sure that Republicans are not let off the hook and not given the opportunity, rather, to rewrite history, because what we're seeing is a concerted effort by Republicans and by Fox News and different media outlets that are aligned with the right wing in this country, attempting to not only deflect and make you think about everything else that happens that is wrong in this country, whataboutisms, right? But they actually want to rewrite who the people were that were out there on January 6th. And if we give them enough time, Republicans will tell you that, I mean, they've already said it was like some secret group of Antifa members who infiltrated that good crowd of God-fearing Donald Trump supporters. This is literally what they're already saying. If you give them enough time, then they're going to end up blaming January 6th on immigrants, or they'll end up blaming January 6th on MS-13. There's no amount of lies that conservatives in this country are unwilling to engage in to protect their political power. But right now, their lies have caught them in a snare between Donald Trump the Donald Trump snare. They can't get away from him because he has too much power. But by protecting him and coddling him, they are also threatening their power. Let's take a listen into the second clip from Chris Wallace's interview with Kevin McCarthy, because I think it is just as revealing as they discuss his unwillingness, Kevin McCarthy's unwillingness under any terms to participate in an investigation of January 6th.
Wait, let me finish.
I haven't seen her cave on much.
She has caved on several issues involving the January 6th special committee. She now says, yes, equal numbers of Republicans and Democrats, yes, bipartisan support for any subpoena that is issued. Are you willing to take yes for an answer and sign up for the January 6th special committee?
You say she has. I've never had one conversation about this. In January 13th, I proposed a 9/11 commission with what happened on January 6th. To have equal number of Republicans and Democrats, same subpoena. Don't start with any findings or ideas. Let the facts take you to where you are. Since Good Friday, we just had Officer Evans killed in the Capitol. For the last year, we've had political violence across this country and in this city. I think we should look at all of that. But she's never once had a conversation with myself or Leader Mitch McConnell.
But let me just finish up on this question of the scope, because when the Benghazi committee to investigate the murder of those 4 American diplomats in Benghazi, Libya, back in 2012 happened, the Republicans set it up, John Boehner, and it was completely confined to discussing what happened in the Benghazi murder. It wasn't about problems in the Middle East. Why not confine this committee? It's a big deal. What happened on January 6th when you had this insurrection at the Capitol?
You had an insurrection at the Capitol. You've had political violence for the last year in this building. You had a Good Friday, an officer killed for a political belief right on that Capitol as well. If you're now going to put a commission together, why wouldn't you look at all the problems?
So will you want to agree to a commission unless it has that broader scope?
I'm the one who asked for a commission. It's Speaker Pelosi who's been trying to make it partisan.
But I'm asking, would you accept a commission that's focused on the riot at the Capitol?
This is too important to negotiate in the press and not sit down with the other leaders and walk through to solve this problem for the American public.
I gotta
think
ask.
that's what they.
And so you see, Republicans have no intention of ever holding themselves accountable, ever holding their supporters accountable. They do not care how much our democracy was attacked on January 6th. They don't care. They don't care if this country falls apart so long as they're the people holding the pieces, so long as they're the ones that are holding the power, the economic power and the military power. And so we can never look to them to hold themselves accountable or to participate in the act of accountability for what happened on January 6th, because too many of them are implicated in it. There are too many Republicans who are directly implicated in it above and beyond Donald Trump. That said, that's all the more reason Nancy Pelosi should move forward with this commission, regardless of how many Republicans support it, because they will never support it, because it is a direct threat to their power, because they are complicit. And some of them were co-conspirators on January 6th, on the terrorist attack of January 6th.